Welcome back to Terror by the Bay. I'm David. Okay, so I posted up a video earlier today about Matt Gaetz withdrawing his name for the Attorney General, and Trump has named another candidate. And I will read on that in a different reading. This one is going to look generally at Trump's cabinet picks. There's an NPR article listed here that says, with Trump's cabinet picks, you may have noticed common threads. Top jobs going to people fiercely loyal to Trump, people with experience appearing on television, but no actual experience directly relevant to the jobs they'd be doing. And many of them have been accused of sexual misconduct. Secretary of Defense nominee Pete Hegseth, HHS Secretary nominee Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Elon Musk have faced some variation of accusations of sexual misconduct. All of them have either denied it or claimed no memory of it. Just like Donald Trump has been accused of sexual misconduct and convicted. Is this a case of birds of a feather flocking together? So I want to look at the energy of Donald Trump and men behaving badly and him surrounding himself with like-minded people. This is just... this is a train wreck. He was a dumpster fire before. I don't even know how to describe this. I don't know what supplants a dumpster fire. But let's look at Trump and the men that he keeps nominating that seem to have a problem with women. Okay, entertainment purposes only. King of Pentacles. It's like the Lord of the Flies, and he's the head blue bottle of the lot of them. Yeah, and they're like the apprentices to him. Kind of the vibe I get is that he likes having blackmail over the people that report into him. And it's like this young core of men. Now, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is obviously not young, but it's like the old pro bringing on the younger guard to carry on his message on this one. In the past, we got the patriarchy, man and a wife and 2 kids, and the man was in charge, and she stayed home and had kids and tended the house and did what she was told, and blah, 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 blah. Current situation is judgment. It's almost like the wake-up call for misogyny and the patriarchy, that if you don't put women in their place now and knock them back 50 to 150 years in their rights, then bad things might happen. Basically, the continuation of women's rights and equalities. Overarching energy is the 2 of coins. Again, it's that feeling that, as we have the coins here, there's less and less power. His circle's getting smaller. The people he can nominate are getting smaller. The ones he has nominated are falling out of that circle. It's almost like Trump picking whoever he wants, and it's not working out. So there's kind of a layer going on here. Trump's calling people to the patriarchy, but they're losing influence because they keep getting removed because people don't want that. Therefore, Trump is losing influence. Lesson we learned is the decisions that need to be made. Decisions made in the past are impacting things now. Trump is trying to almost normalize those bad decisions they made in the past, because he's guilty of them too. And if he can make everybody around him guilty of that, then he can just deflect and say, oh, you said that about Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and you said that about Matt Gaetz, and you said that about this guy and that guy. So now you're just saying it about me. So, it's almost like it's birds of a feather flocking together. He's the center bird, and then he's going to surround himself with a picket fence of other birds. So when he takes shots at him, you're going to pick off the ones protecting him like a wall. Out comes the Hierophant. Yeah, he's just trying to put him in government. He's trying to normalize his government with like-minded people. There's not a whole lot of insight in there. He's just a horrible person, surrounding himself by horrible people. Again, how does Linda G put it? That likened to its own or something like that. Basically, he's attracting people who are just like him, and he wants people just like him surrounding him. And I think it's just to protect him from that, from accusations going forward. At a higher level, sort of taking a step back from this, and I've been wanting to ask this, does Trump's abysmal picks for his cabinet, does that light a fire under Biden's butt? You know, when it's literally, I heard something on the radio today, and I don't know if it's true or not. Maybe I could go look it up. Hang on for a second before I spread false rumors. Okay, the thing I heard, I can't find it in the news, so I'm not going to repeat it and give it any life, okay? The beauty of Google and the pause button. But Trump's picks are horrific. And they truly are. And I want to know, will this, if Biden finds any evidence of cheating, will this, you know, he can't look at the Trump administration and say, oh, maybe it won't be so bad. He's got to be looking at like, holy smokes. He's going to burn the whole thing down. Does that help Biden with his decisions? My deck is upside down. Asking, you know, kind of the vibe around Biden with this. It's causing Biden nightmares. I think that's my intro to this pretty much sums it up. He can't believe it. You know, he's going to hand over the government to this guy in 2 months, and this is what's happening. You know, I think he sees the end of democracy. Disappointment. What can I do? I think part of it is, I think he knows that Kamala won. I think he knows that if he leaves, the high watermark for women and the value of women has peaked, and it will be decreasing probably precipitously if he goes. And now he's, you know, underneath it, it's like, you know, he's resigned, like, I have to do this, but he's not fully resigned, if you know what I mean. He's like, there's still some hope left. If it was a 50-50 bit, he'd be leaning more, like 60-40, more leaning towards leaving than staying. But I think as these cups get knocked over, he has to really think about what's going on. In the past, got the Queen of Cups. He's keeping his mouth shut. He's really not, I mean, he could be talking trash left, right, and center on this stuff, and he really isn't saying anything. Current situation is the Ace of Pentacles. There's a big opportunity that's coming here. Trump is opening the door to something. Biden's considering a big move. Maybe it could be related to the Nine of Coins here. Overarching energy, Ace of Swords. A big move that involves justice. Again, if there's election fraud going on, this could really drive it. Lesson to be learned is the Queen of Pentacles. The practicality. It's just women's rights. You know, starting with the abortion, denying women the ability to make their healthcare decisions, to women's rights in general. There's a real big push going on. There's some big energy currently with Biden that's driving Biden, and it's to protect women and women's rights. Keeping his mouth shut about these things. But it's very much on his mind. Probably, you know, for his wife, his daughters, his granddaughters, so on and so forth. His running mate, all the women in his family. Outcome is the Eight of Wands. He's going to be moving on something. I don't know if he's going to be making any announcements, but something is happening. Something is happening quickly with him. I hope it happens quicker than that. Bob Casey just conceded his election run in Pennsylvania to Mr. McCormick. So we've got that loss to deal with. Things are just not looking good with this election. With all those aces and stuff like that, is Biden actually going to do something with this with purported election fraud? Is he going to do something? I mean, I don't know what to tell you, man. I really don't. I may not get an answer. It's only going to be a 4-carder. This is kind of a yes or no and maybe a little bit of background. Will he do something? Anything. He's working on it. Well, is he doing something? He's doing something. He's working on it. 3 of Cups. Celebration. Kamala Harris winning. Democrats winning all 3 houses. Hangman. Looking at things in a different perspective, in a new light. And the nostalgia card. 6 of Cups. The way things used to be. You know, peaceful transfers of power and all that. Underneath it all is the Page of Cups. Kind of a crazy idea. It seems conspiracy theory-ish. Best I can tell you, whoever, I think they're investigating it, investigating election interference. He's getting, looking at things differently on it, looking to see, were they denied a victory, and how do you, it's like the good old days of just modest amounts of cheating as opposed to cheating with both hands may be gone, and you have to do something that seems crazy. I'm not saying no. I think he's doing something, but he's not close enough yet to make a decision on that. I will say that when I got the news that Matt Gaetz had stepped down from the nomination for the AG, I felt hopeful. I'm hoping this is the first domino in many to start falling down. And I do hope that Trump's insane picks are really driving folks in the Department of Justice, folks in the FBI, folks in the Biden administration to do everything they can to see if there was voter fraud. They're allowed to do that. You're not allowed to change votes that were properly cast, but you can look into making sure that the votes that were cast and properly tallied. And if there was improprieties, then you need to determine if there was a big enough amount of improprieties to actually make a difference in the election. Kind of what happened in 2020, except that rather than proving that there was a large enough amount of fraud, they couldn't prove there was fraud. And when they did, it was their team perpetuating the fraud, and certainly not enough fraud to overturn any of the elections, although they screamed and howled about it for 4 years. I think Biden will be looking into that, but we have to temper our expectations with what they can find and put together. Knock on wood. All right, I'll leave it with this one. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. This reading is for entertainment purposes only, but I do hope you find it insightful, and I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.